I want to talk about learning and memory today. So as a neuroscientist, what is super important about this is we have a behavioral response, but everything that we do is caused by our brain. And so I'm super interested in where in the brain is there a change happening? So if you have a change in behavior, something is happening. Is it in the hippocampus? What cell types is it? Are two cells interacting differently? Where exactly are two molecules that connect together differently? And so thinking back to these classical theories that were postulated, decades ago. So Pavlovian conditioning is basically saying if you have something that causes a reaction, that thing, the stimulus, is going to be unconditioned, and the response is unconditioned. They just happen. So if I scream at you, you will cower back. So I am the stimulus and you are having this response. These are unconditioned. You're not learning this. You just know it's awful, right? So if then you know that every time I stomp down the stairs, I'm about to come and scream at you, the stomping down the stairs becomes your conditioned stimulus, and you still elicit the fear response, but now you have the fear response to me stomping down the stairs. It's like a simplest idea of just trying to use language to put some kind of a structure on human behavior that we see all the time. So then you have these, behaviorists come along, and the behaviorists, which the most famous one is going to be Skinner. And Skinner was super controversial because he basically said that all humans just react to what they think is going to happen. Their behavior is formed by rewards and punishments in the world around them. And no behavior is stemming in any way from thoughts or feelings or, emotions, which really gives me pause to think about these ideas of free will and human dignity. And also it's crazy how much he has been really fundamental in the way that we parent with this system, like a rewards chart and the system of good behavior and punishing kids, when really there is an autonomous spirit in each of these small humans. And I think that can be easily overlooked if you go just to a magnet board or a sticker chart or something like that that's basically just doing carrots for good behavior. It's a hard thing that we have as parents to try to figure out how do you craft the behaviors that you want to see in the absence of a reward punishment system. How do you allow your child's true self or true sense, or these things that I know also have a huge impact on behavior, such as the way that someone just is. So biologically, I know that kids sometimes are way more emotionally empathetic, or they're way more, agitated than other kids. And the way that Skinner approaches it, basically, it nullifies all of those genetic differences and just basically says, I can basically take anybody and make them a criminal or make them a lawyer just based on positive reinforcement and negative reinforcement. And although, these can be useful tools, I think, especially in modeling short-term behavior, at some point we have to turn the reins over to our kids. So anyway, these are just my kind of thoughts on these ideas of Skinner. So this is operant condition. You operate based on the rewards or punishments that you're going to give. And then classical conditioning, where you're basically just associating one stimulus with another stimulus. So they're different, but they've shaped our ideas about parenting in a big way. And I think to the detriment in some ways of parenting, because we feel like more should be under our control. We feel like, if that's true, that positive rewards and negative punishments can end up shaping our child's behavior, that we should be all being the most amazing parents ever, and our children should all be perfect. But it's not true. Kids come in and they have their own sense of self, and parents can help, but kids are still going to be who kids are. How much control do we actually have? And I think I would postulate that we don't have any control at all, that our kids are in control of themselves, and we're able to just put experiences in front of them and encourage them to experience those as part of their process that's shaping their synapses and shaping their own kind of interaction with the world in the future. So thanks for listening to my musings on these fundamental learning and memory theories. And next time we'll talk a little bit more about the brain mechanisms that are involved with the learning itself. So thanks. Join us every day in May for a new video.